Okay, thank you very much and good afternoon. So my name is Satyajit Ghosh and I am working in WATERAID as a research person. Actually working in as a research person. So we are joined by our colleague Hemlata, who is heading this Bangalore operation. He's the state program director of the Bangalore operation. And through online, you can see the Uday Shankar. He's a person from PME as well as he's looking after the water quality. So previous sessions, I could figure out some of the discussions that is going on. And one of the discussions that's been highlighted by Sundar, all the three things been told by Sundar. One was the thing that Sundar told, or he was highlighting, that even we have a AI, that where are see, even we are where we are using AI by collecting a large data process. We are doing optimization to reach something very ideal or real things. But where is the person over there? Where is the individuals over there? Second is that we have a large data system where we want to collect large data with developing a softwares. Again, the question appear, where is the person? Where is the individual exist? So what I am presenting over here is the water aid experience and the collection of the data water quality data. But mainly it delved into a very big philosophical question that when we are collecting a data or when we are gathering a data on water quality, what should be our approach? The approach could be two. One is the extractive approach, where you go with a certain set of questionnaire, we ask the person to fill it, and we upload the data. Second could be a very participatory one, where we will say that let's hear from that person, what is their view on the water quality, what the solution they want, and we just want to record it. If you see about the first approach of the extractive approach, it's a way approach where we deal with the person as an object. And second, when we are dealing with the person as an object, then we involve the person. So if you clearly see some of the larger discussions right now going on, even the few days of a number of years back, we are struggling with both the things, science and the person. So there is a data water quality science, there is a data we need to collect, where this person figure out. So my experience over here is to deal with this question and deal with this problem. In the last slide, it may be something different which I want to showcase of the larger water quality data regime that has been operating in India, that where are the areas of the convergence and it is missing over there. So, so if you could see the entire water quality surveillance system, what I have presented over here is a two set of verticals. If you see this entire verticals over here, if you cut over here, this entire thing, so if you draw this very thin line over there, one is a very structural process, which if you see the state adopt, where they have got a department, public health engineering department, there's a Jal Jeevan ministry, they have got a monitoring and compliance, even the WaterAid have. Second is the standard system of reporting and monitoring. But this is structured and flexible in WaterAid. When I say the flexible, there is a scope to improve. In case of the state, when the state operate with its policy, it is completely fixed because data water quality collection is a science. It's a theory, it exists. But if you see that the another verticals, or you say that if you draw this line, there is another, uh, another, you say the dynamics exists, or you say the another area exists, which is completely unstructured, informal, or evolving, and that is a community. And what are those principles that we carry out over here in a water aid? It's a transparent, where we say about there is a involvement of the community in the decisions, decentralized participation when you get back to the habitation level decisions, inclusion where we involve the women and marginalized group. Sometimes women-headed family, differently able, we involve in their decisions in the water quality process. So if you see this, both the system, one is a very structured system which govern this entire, the areas of the water quality with set of standard and reporting monitoring. And there is a non-structured system, it's called community. But if we see the very non-structured system very detailed, what are those things that play a larger role in the community? One is the discussions and the meetings. It gives the spaces for the decentralized decisions, which I figured out in my earlier discussion or earlier note, that where is the individual in the data? Where those person are there? Are we missing those person? Are we treating those person as a guinea pigs? That's a larger question over here. Yes, in the WATERAID, we don't treat them. We involve in the discussion. There is a dissemination of knowledge and the information. And lastly, the decentralized decisions. Now, if you see that both the things, there is a completely, you say in terms of the language of Hegel, there would be a dialectical process that is going on over here. One is interacting with each other, other is interacting with each other. And there is a complete way of exchange. We may say this process is something very anarchic, where we say that it's very informal, very anarchic, but it is evolving. But it suggests this process to get structured, to get evolved. So we are not closing the entire discussion in this manner. So I will carry this entire presentation in the two verticals by sharing that what we are doing in a MP, our process in the MP, Madhya Pradesh. Then we will delve into a very micro level case study in Chhattisgarh, in Kanker, when we're dealing with the fluoride problems. First is that we're going to talk about the structure. Second, we'll talk about a very specific way of solving this problem of the water quality by making the people at the core center. So if you could see that, what is the water quality monitoring surveillance we mean in this entire discussion? Building the local resources, when you're talking about the volunteers, selecting the volunteers, training them, strengthening the system, that is the system that is any of the collective that we have formed, plus the panchayat or village water sanitation committee, because panchayat in a democratic process is the elected person, he is representing. But in case of the bureaucracy, we don't have the elected person, they are selected. So we are trying to make this as a water quality issues in the panchayat. Second, sustaining the intervention by community-led initiative. That's actually a discussions that what should be the possible solution, how to collect it. Even though all the stakeholder, I would say, that present in the village. Lastly, when we get into the structured process that I've sent over the verticals, that we involving the department, and then putting that, whatever the things we got from the informal things to the formal one, that institutionalize the entire community-led process in the government through policy and advocacy. Finally, I would say, again, the community is in the center. This is the experience of our project in Madhya Pradesh, where we have established a water quality surveillance mechanism by involving a women. Now, if you could remember, in a Swachh Bharat mission, there is a process called CLTS, Community-Led Total Sanitation System, where you want to trigger and mapping and everything going on. Problem is that when you trigger the person with a certain sort of behavior, certain sort of problem, it need to be deal with it need to be the way the next step would be, they must get the solution. So first is the triggering and mapping of the sources that we do. So you can see that the first picture, we are talking about the water quality. We ask the person to map the sources in a habitation, where are the sources and which sources they feel that is much more viable to get tested. Second, the capacity building of the women volunteers. We involve the women very specifically in this project. We build the capacity of the women volunteers on water quality testing. That is again the knowledge building that I have depicted in my first slide. Next is the involving the women in mapping the sources. We ask the women that what sources they have seen during this entire triggering, mapping, and capacity building exercise, what sources they could map entire in the village. And this is a resource mapping sort of thing, the participatory mapping. Again, the testing the sources, it's the indicative test. They would do the testing. And if they found there is some contamination find, they took some of the samples to the lab. Or they sometimes take some certain representative sample to the lab testing. Lastly, the documenting the result, they document the result. After documenting the result, what the what is the result? It should be presented in front of the community. The first values of a quality surveillance system that I have depicted is a displaying the result. That is a transparency and decision making. So it's get transparent. It's displaying the result. Lastly, they prepare a water calendar with the community, and it depict the what is the action and mitigation measures taken in the entire year, and it get updated. Lastly is the integration with the PRI and district department, this entire process. So you could see that whatever the thin line I have drawn about the informal and the formal process, state water aid as a structural process and community as an informal process get integrated with the PRI and the district. So we have built a 30 village water quality system, surveillance system in 5 districts involving 198 women and youth in 30 villages. So this 30 village water quality surveillance system has been established. And then you can see that one of the integration part is that we involve the means volunteer from 26 villages, 10 GP of Damoh district to upload this water quality test result in the portal with the district lab. This is a very minor way to present one of the cases, to how to integrate into the system, informal to formal. And it's evolving. Now, if you could see that I have depicted the entire set of things in a uh, very one-to-one, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight processes, a structured one. Now, if I would say that there is a problem, if we provide an action mitigation water calendar and we provide a solution, say for, they say that there is a problem in the fluoride and we institute a very large overhead tank with the treatment technology of ion exchange, whether it's going to sustain or not. It is from the WATERAID. There is a discussions come that one of the process get failed. People are not going to accept it. So in next area, I just going to delve this process of the things that took place in a Chhattisgarh, village Matwara Modi, when we're dealing with the problem of the fluoride. High fluoride, 3.5 to 4.5 ppm. Some would say it's a moderate fluoride. It's a tribal area of 100 households. It's a water scarce area. Now, we try to bring a community-centric solution. So if we go above, so one of the things we focused is very clearly, very specifically, and started working. So we found out that one of the thing is missing, and that missing is that when we talk about this solutions of the fluoride contamination, what we found that all the process is going on. The solution that we are providing, it's not been accepted by the community. Fluoride is very high. They want some solution, which they want the solution, which will they accept by doing by making the own course of solution through their hand or involving the household. So we involve them in a preparation of fluoride Nilogan filter. I think this is developed in Tejpur University. So 2 months has been spent by the professor from Tejpur University. It's the absorption method. You can see that one of our staff, Anurag, who is the state program director of this West Bengal and Orissa, is there. So he actually involving the community to see that if the contamination is getting increased and you're adding some adsorbent material, how it is getting reduced. So they use this adsorbent, that is a calcium phosphate has been used, and it got reduced the fluoride level. So it's sustaining. It's completely sustaining because this solution has been accepted by the peoples over there. Again, whatever the things that I have expressed, in case of the tribal area, you cannot use the sort of writing in the wall and you cannot say that this is the fluoride ka pani mat piyo, fluoride ka pani se hani hota hai. Nobody going to read it because they don't have the time. So use some innovative method in awareness generation. That is the games. So it could trigger it in other way. Then again, the participatory mapping involving the women that I have explained it earlier. But the major case is that this is the part that we have worked for the solution and it is still sustaining. It's a household-based solution, not a bigger solution, but there is a request from the community to make it a bigger, installing some overhead tanks, providing a pipeline. So the emphasis is there. There is some structured one. Again, I have said that we have got some non-structured discussion and putting it in a structure. So it's an integration with the PRI. But there are some challenges. So if you see that in financial year 2022 and 23, we tested 2,065 sources and trained 1,1318 volunteers. When we are using this FTK, there is a variation in the result, right? For arsenic and all this. FTK varies. If you use the Jaltara FTK, sorry to name them, or you use the Merck FTK, it will going to vary the result. So there is some problem in that. So it did some sort of, we are just brainstorming how to take it forward, thinking. No incentive system for the groups and individual collecting a sample. So even the Jal Jeevan mission is involving the people. So there is a problem of incentive. But when we are transporting the sample from field to lab, its quality get hamper because some of the things, handling the sample and taking to the lab, microbial contamination sample, collecting a sample is little difficult. When you're collecting a sample for the arsenic, it requires some sort of training and some sort of preservation of the sample. That is not taking place. One of the thing is the major challenge that which I highlighted in the first slide is the centralized system of the government. We have got informal system, we have got a centralized system. We have got a centralized system, we have got a government orders which need to get implemented in the field, how the people are accepting, how it is gets flexible. That is a big question on the data collection, big question on your decisions making, big question involving the panchayats in the decision making. And we don't have the integrated system of referring the water quality data. That's the fifth one. So last one, if I was referring to the, so I'm very sorry it get blurred because I actually take out from some research article published by the World Bank. If you could see that the integration of the data, you see the Central Water Ground Board, JJM, Central Pollution Control Board, and the Department of Punjab, they have taken a fourth set of data, and then the institution, National Institute of Hydrology, BARC, and all are reporting a data. These are not available in the public platform, right? These data. These data are available in the public platform, but they all varied. If you see the downloading a data with JJM, definitely it required a lot of effort. That time they is made sample procedure, it present in the JJM, but CGWB it's not present, CPCD is not present. If you talk about the sample size, you could see the massive sample size. Because thing is that they are reporting the whatever they have tested, that is test data has been reported over there. Sources, they are reporting the sources. If you see the well depth, nobody is means collecting the well depth. So well depth differ with the water quality. So these are the things data has been presented. So at beginning, I've said that I am going to share another slide, which is something very, means different from the things that I have narrated with the WaterAid experience. This is one of the problems on the data we are facing. And I think we are still working with the Rural Wash Partner Forum. INREM is there, partners, all the peoples, AKRSPI, Ecology is there, everyone is there. We definitely will sort out this problem of integrating a data. But finally, I would say that let's involve a community in the decisions making, make the informal process much more strengthening, so the formal process get checked and heard. Right. Thank you very much.